Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Metagame Minute, your favorite once-a-week Chaotic Amateurs after show. Let's jump right into it in new horn order. Starting with Mr. Ball, Milo. What are your takeaways from this episode? What did you think about finishing off the Squaglid and kind of these puzzles and some of the little places we found ourselves as we got into these hallways and stuff?
I felt myself immediately getting frustrated when the thing moved away from me, and I was like, I'm gonna have to go up those fucking stairs. And I was like, you could climb those pretty easy. I'm like, okay, thank God. And then I got to punch him really hard, which is cool.
Yeah.
This room is interesting. I'm curious about the scrying stone, and I want to get it off of there and figure out what it's used for. It's weird that it just like looks down. It's like an overhead view, Alex.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like looking straight on down to the tower. Huh.
Yeah. From the brief glimpses that you saw of it.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what that is used for. If I'm assuming it's connected to something else from what I gained looking at the pedestal that it was on. It has some other connection to something else in the tower, probably. The root system of this tower, goes to other places in the tower, I'm assuming. So I'm probably find other stuff there. I want to get the scrying orb because I really want a scrying orb. And it was really cool just getting to RP and talk to those soldiers. I just love doing that shit.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool scene. I was actually really thrilled when I saw the body as soon as we busted. I wasn't sure just kicking in the door was going to work, but I thought for sure when it was blocked, I was like, oh, this is for sure monsters on the other side. Like, we're going to kick it open and there's just going to be like, a rancor or something back there.
Oh, I can't wait to just make a jug of mayonnaise and give it to that guy.
Gross.
Hey, whatever. It's no Genasi spit, but never mind.
But few things are.
Yeah, exactly. Caleb, Scory, Mr. Telbrun.
Yep. I'll start by saying this. I'm excited to get back into the center room.
Yeah.
I felt like we had to take the opportunity with the doors being gone to see kind of what was around, but I feel like we didn't really explore much in the center room other than just looking at a couple of the crystals. Because we pretty much got right into it with that Squaglid or whatever you're calling it, and
we had to rush in.
We didn't even look. Apparently, there are bodies on the balcony that we were unaware of.
I think we saw those.
And lots of, I don't remember it. We probably did, but I don't remember it. And then there are several other doors that we can choose from. I
definitely want to investigate the tree stump in the middle because it only appeared like when we went into the ethereal plane, and so we're gonna have to touch that again and investigate that a little bit further,
especially if that's fueling things. Like since our suspicion now is that it's powering at least that scrying orb, it's probably powering other things. So we could take down their defenses considerably if potentially if we do something about that now instead of later waiting for it.
Right. Me personally, I was glad that we were able to get through these doors and explore some of the stuff, but seeing what that object was, the scrying orb or whatever, seeing what that was and kind of seeing what was behind some of these doors gives me a lot of anxiety in terms of figuring out what we're going to have to do next, because, we touched the one of those items in the center room that brought out the Squaglid. We were able to rush in and see some stuff, but there's kind of four objects total in that center room, and I'm like, my mind is like, do we have to touch both of the one color? Do we have to touch all four? Do we have to touch all four and open different things? Should we try the doors before we touch anything?
And there
definitely be puzzly.
I know, yeah.
And there are crates.
So many possibilities that I'm just like, I don't know.
there are crates or something, at least in the Roll20.
Yeah.
Down in the bottom left, and I don't think any of us took a look at that stuff. We just went straight to the glowy things.
I was standing by them when we were fighting, but I don't think I was paying.
Did you get anything from them while you were there?
Cover. But no. Riff, what about you? I thought it was a kind of a cool move with the bag to try and figure out, because isn't your bag special in some way? This is something I always kind of forget about. But
yeah, it's the knapsack of I forget what I've got it on my.
It has like eyes on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a web grip rucksack. It's got 8 spiders' eyes on it, and the arms like attached to me, and you can't get it off of me. Once it's attached to me, and then it's got like 8 compartments in it that are like the size of each compartment's just basically like its own bag essentially.
So if it's magical, it shouldn't break.
I'm just trepidatious about it because Alex has never said anything like where you feel as though it's heavy and it's pulling and it might damage it. Like that is basically what he said. So I was like,
I would take that seriously.
I wouldn't blame him for not wanting to break his magical backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if it would have just freely come with us or whatever, I totally would have done it. But that's what I was thinking. Like, if we can find like a cloth or even like we've got all these crates and crap around us. Like, let's empty one out and like, put it in the bowling bag. Basically, I mean, that's what I was going to suggest. That we try, but also I think we that's something we can do before we leave. Like I don't necessarily think it needs to happen right now.
Yeah.
So, but I am interested in like seeing all these other doors as well because I'm like, okay, well, we've mapped this part of the level. Let's go open up another door and see what's going on. I did find it interesting that it's like kind of like the like that hallway's basically like the loading room. I guess for the ethereal plane or whatever. It's kind of like,
oh yeah,
because like that's where that creature was. So it was either it like loaded into there, or it was just on that part of the map. Because like when we touched that thing, like we went into a different dimension or whatever. So I think that's interesting. Almost like that it.
Well, and I wonder how long that creature could survive outside of the ethereal plane.
Oh yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah.
It sounds like it was never experienced outside of the ethereal plane. And
but those people were being threatened by it, and they're not in it,
Yeah, but they were sandwiched by the ethereal hallway where that creature was.
True.
There's no getting around it. So I have a question for the DM then, kind of off of that. When we first went into the hallway, when we were scrambling out of the main compartment, kind of under that time crunch, were we into the physical plane while the rest was ethereal? And then when the time ran out, we went ethereal and everything else went back physical?
What?
So we were in the ethereal plane fighting
it,
the ethereal monster. We went into the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And then the timer ran out.
Mm-hmm.
Before the timer ran out, was that hallway still ethereal plane, or was it on the physical plane?
Yeah, it wasn't until the doors.
It doesn't ever flip flop. It's always ethereal. Right. Okay.
It looks like that hallway is stuck in the ethereal plane.
Gotcha. Okay.
Dash, Mr. Wolf got to kick in a door, touch some orbs, hammer away at a swag lid.
Yeah, I did some experiments. I had my control. I had a hypothesis. None of it panned out for Wolf. But whenever he gets to experiment, it's exciting because everyone else is smarter than him, and he knows this. So he thought
that's science. If your hypotheses were always correct, you wouldn't really have a good basis for.
Look, don't talk to me about science, Rhett.
I'm going to buy you a little chemistry kit, like a kid's chemistry kit.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm unfamiliar with the word chemistry, but okay. Like
alchemy.
Sure, that's better, I guess. Again, don't use more than like 3-letter words on me, guys. Very dumb. He wanted to try a little experiment with the little orb, and it was fun for him. He had some fun.
That was fun, yeah.
What about getting to some fellow soldiers of Usama? I mean, was there anything? I was going to speak up when we came in there, but I felt like you had the Usama cred, so I didn't want to trample on that.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's sad for Wolf to see more of his fellow soldiers dying, and especially for seemingly senseless causes, considering it's like what are they even doing here and for what, and especially someone that he served with died, which is really unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of those guys are around anymore. So.
Well, is it possible that that guy's alive? Because they said they didn't, like, they said they thought he died, but they hadn't seen him or something. Like, is it possible that maybe he's around?
I don't know.
Fighting the good fight?
Maybe.
We're going to rescue his ass?
Maybe.
I hope so.
I mean, anything's possible. It's all make-believe, so.
How dare you? You're fired.
Who knows? Maybe I grow wings. I don't know. I'll speak with the DM, see if we can make that happen.
I hope so. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Alex, what about you? Is Wolf gonna get wings? Is
It's possible. It's all made up.
Yeah. How dare you? No, this is real.
That's right. It's us that's made up. This is all real.
Yep.
What can you tell us about the Squaglet now
I
that
wish.
it's dead?
It was cool. If y'all want to know just metagame, he's just he's a treant with some modified stats. He's cool. I liked him.
So he's like Treebeard from Lord of the Rings.
I mean,
And we're in a tower, and that seeing orb is a Palantir, and this is basically Lord of the Rings, the campaign.
Lord of the Rings, the campaign.
All right, nerds.
Alrighty, guys. Hey, that's this week's Metagame Minute. Thanks so much for sticking around. Free every Thursday, wherever you got this and more. Come back Monday. Listen to the exciting conclusion of what just happened and more on Monday for Chaotic Amateur. Keep on adventuring.
And more.